Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Ravine, and a new thriller from director Keoni Waxman, starring Dane, who's been getting a lot of attention for Euphoria, Teri, Polo, Peter, Facinelli, and this focuses on a horrible, unspeakable crime that leads to a tragic suicide that brings some people back to their hometown and dealing with a lot of baggage in terms of this peaceful community with families and friends, and they're left reeling to figure out what's happening. And this film is such a hot mess. There's moments where it's just like, for most of the beginning half of this film, it's trying to set up this mysterious thriller, what led to this man doing what he did, and you're wondering what the hell is going on in this town. It uses a lot of frame narrative, so like the actual screenplay from Robert and from Keoni Waxman, who adapted this from a novel. It's just, there's a lot to try to process in this film, and it doesn't really do a good job of balancing all those elements and honing them in and really focusing them. You have frame narratives everywhere. You have things being acted out in time, and you have all these things mixing together. It's hard to keep track. Sometimes it's just like, this character's dead, so they're alive, so that gives you an idea of when this is, because the film doesn't do a very good job of editing how these transitions happen and making sure that the audience is keeping up with everything going on. And you do have this mystery that falls to the wayside because this film winds up just becoming a very staunch Christian faith-based film out of nowhere. And it really gets sappy and melodramatic because like the opening parts of the film, there's some darker elements, and then all of a sudden it's just like this big glowing gleam of things and all of these specific very Christian ideas. And there's not necessarily to say that film can't have Christian ideas and be a good film. One of my greatest favorite films of all time is Ben-Hur, amazing faith-based film. But this is just a hot mess of a narrative that has no idea what it really wants to do. So that's not going to help anybody. And it was so muddled, and, this film, there's just too many moving pieces. But you do have strong performances from Dane and Teri Polo and Peter Facinelli, especially these leads do a fine job of trying to convey emotion and being able to try to get the audience to connect with it. What the issue is, this narrative is so outlandish and shaky and not on steady ground, it's hard to even drum up the excitement elsewhere. But I don't think this film's going to win a whole lot of new converts, but I do feel like some people who love their visual art and everything might be able to make the adjustments and live in that way. And like, this film just feels like it forgot that it was a thriller halfway through just to be like, we have a message to tell. And it was not thought well through, and it just feels like a hot mess with some strong actors trying to do their best in these situations. But those are my thoughts on The Ravine. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.